Hello, everybody on Facebook, Rumble, Twitter. What else do we have here? Thank you all for being here tonight. This is Your Questions Answered Part 9. We certainly appreciate all of you emailing me questions all of the time. It's easier for me just to make a live video and answer everyone's questions whilst you are in the chat room from the email box directly and from everywhere else. So thank you, welcome, and thank you all for being here. We have TikTok, this little thing right here, everybody. This is TikTok running on my phone. I am going to check the comments in Rumble, DLive, Twitch, Facebook, and so on. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat or throw them into email, and we're going to address them. Okay, how do I find Doug Force? Yeah, Doug Force is in Edmonton, and Doug Force is somebody who likes to, well, he absolutely adores answering questions just like I do. Doug Force wrote the book, The Myth is Canada, where he correctly and somewhat incorrectly states that Canada is not a country. Where he's correct is that the Dominion of Canada is a corporation and a non-government body. The individual provinces, the 10 provinces in Canada, they are countries. Canada acts as an administrator, which was supposed to make them all work together, protect, and so on. The Dominion of Canada is done. Honestly speaking, Alberta and Saskatchewan need to leave, form their own country, or perhaps join the United States after Donald Trump wins the election. Callaway is insulting my height. Okay, good for you. Yeehaw. I'm 5'6", everybody, 200 pounds, and I'm currently deadlifting almost 375. So yeah, Callaway, I'm certainly a real man compared to yourself. You don't even have your face on your profile. Come on. If you're going to come out here and insult me, be brave enough to have your own face on it. Wildcat says, Jeremy McKenzie is my favorite. Interesting character, Jeremy. I've only ever spoken to him once, and it was one Zoom meeting, and he was leaving as I was coming in. So we've said the better part of 90 words to each other, maybe. But he is a very clever guy, and I certainly salute him for all the effort he's put forward. Okay. What do we got there? Haha, you're a sovereign citizen too. No, I just know how the country works. No, I'm not going to sit there and bark out, I'm a sovereign citizen, blah, blah. No, that stuff doesn't work. If you're going to pull that free man on the land stuff, you're looking for trouble, okay? Because the courts, they're just corporations themselves, but the courts will do whatever they possibly can to protect their power, not authority, power. And they've only got power because they've got men with guns and body armor who will enforce their statements and judgments. I'm not a fan of the Canadian court system at all. There we go. Manny Ball says, I just immigrated here. My entire family will vote for Justin Trudeau. Yeah, that's why Justin Trudeau did that. So Justin Trudeau is a weirdo and a pedophile. If you guys want to vote for him, be my guest. It says everything I need to know about you. Sorry, man, but I can't endorse or be part of pedophiles. Okay. Yeah, go Trump. Karen, absolutely. Donald J. Trump was the best American president ever. And I know I've done my research. I've done my studying. I lived in the United States of America, everybody. I did that for 4 straight years. I love America. Well, at least the old America. This Biden America, I can't stand. If we get Trump back in office, the Ukraine-Russia war is going to disappear overnight because he will broker a peace deal, and America will go back to being a great country again. Can you say Black Lives Matter? You're an idiot. Manny, get out of here. You're just a troublemaker. I have no time for you. Get lost. Hold on. Manage and block. Confirm. All right. So what happens from time to time, everybody, when I do these lives is we get people that come in here and they want to call me racist and so on. And what they'll do is they'll ask leading questions that they can then state, oh, look, he's racist because he doesn't agree with me and so on. And I've got Haley saying, oh my God, handsome. Well, thank you very much for that. Is the convoy a go? Isn't that interesting? I got a phone call from a police department today in Ontario, 2 time zones away from where I am right now, asking me everything that I knew about the new convoy coming up in Ottawa. And I politely said, I don't answer questions. Here's my lawyer's phone number. Call him. Because I don't know. No one gave me any details about the upcoming convoy. The only thing I know is that someone is planning one. I don't know who. So I couldn't help them anyway, but I'm still not answering questions when the police call. Justin Trudeau can bench 400 pounds. Doubtful. Doubtful. Period. He's probably had sex with 400 men, but I doubt very much he can bench press 400 pounds. Are you kidding me? Trump all the way. Barbara, absolutely. Okay, I thought I got rid of this Manny Ball guy. Try blocking him again. Another troublemaker. Okay. Show me the pink glasses. Oh, they're actually not pink, Haley. They are brown, right? They were supposed to, I forget the name. There we go, right? They're not pink. I know that the camera makes them look pink, but they're not. And everyone asks me why I wear them everywhere I go is because I've had eye injuries, in fact, 2 severe eye injuries in my left eye. I'm almost blind in my left eye, and that's why I wear those glasses, because they are, what's the word there? They have a prism in them that stops eye dominance from giving me headaches. Okay. Rose, 19. Hello, Rose. How are you? Go Trump. Get rid of Biden. Absolutely. Karen, we in Canada are heading down in a downward spiral. Yep, we sure are. Karen, where do you live? Theodore Roosevelt was better than Trump. Well, yes and no. Theo screwed up in a couple of places where he shouldn't have, but he was a real good president. I'm not going to lie. Teddy Roosevelt, that's where the teddy bear comes from. The name teddy bear, it was to honor Theodore Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt. Trump, 24 years in prison. No, that's not going to happen. These indictments that they're placing on Donald J. Trump are the same thing they did to me when I ran for mayor in Calgary, everybody. I polled number 1 in May of 2021 in that mayor race, and they put me in prison for 7 weeks. They're trying to have it so Trump cannot run against Biden and win. And they're going to not win these indictments. Curious to know what the convoy will accomplish. Well, look what the convoy did. It finally showed the world that some Canadians were willing to do something to solve the problems in their country. And following that, there were convoys in Africa and there were convoys in Northwestern Europe. It got the attention of the entire world. And here we are, no more masks, right? That's what it did. And everybody kind of went back to work. What do you think about classical Greek and Roman literature? Classical Greek and Roman literature would be written in Greek and Roman, and any of the other languages that and the dialects that they would have had. So I've not been able to read it because I chose not to learn how to speak Greek nor any Roman languages or modern Italian. So I don't think much of it because I haven't read it. But what do I think about Greek and Roman history? Whoa, I could talk all day on that issue. Okay. Look at this guy. Trudeau's the best prime minister we ever had. Wow. You guys know what he did in his first 6 weeks in office, right? Trudeau went to the Aga Khan's island without his security detail so that he could get instructions on how to destroy Canada, which he's done, and also to be involved in a man-on-man orgy, which everybody in Parliament knew about. And because I'm a journalist and people in Parliament speak with me on a regular basis, well, I got the inside scoop. And unfortunately, when I put that information out, the RCMP came to my door telling me that I couldn't put news stories out about Justin Trudeau's sexual deviancy. Like the cops, the federal police force tells journalists that we're not allowed to talk about Justin Trudeau's weird behaviors. All right, keep going here. Karen's moving to Alberta next year. Yeehaw. All right. Someone told me to shut up. No, request denied. Trump rocks. Absolutely, Rose. Financially speaking, Justin Trudeau has been the worst prime minister in Canadian history. Financially, economically, socio-economically, diplomatically, and this guy is the worst of the worst. Like, he's hated everywhere. You know, the president of El Salvador came right out and said the real war is not in the Ukraine, it's in Canada. And he's correct. Justin Trudeau declared war on his own citizens. It's that simple. He's horrendous, this guy. And someone says, oh, you're from Alberta, makes sense now. I think that's an insult but I am originally from Toronto. That's Ontario, for those who don't know the geography. Let me just check the chat rooms here. All right. Yes, Rick Smith makes a good point in the Rumble chat room, everybody. In about the third month in office, Justin Trudeau legalized bestiality. Okay? So for all of you who like this guy and voted for him, that's what he did. Legalize sex with animals. What a disgusting, perverse maniac. Okay. Oh, someone's saying, bro, lost by a landslide in Calgary. No, I won the Calgary mayor race. Do you know why Joy T. Gondek is in office? Because she was selected by the Liberal Party to do so. And the previous premier of the province, Jason Kenney, cooperated. She was not elected. No one even knows who she is. When you ask people who's the mayor of Calgary, no one knows. Right? They still say my name because of my incredible marketing campaign. Didn't I try to seek asylum in the United States? Yep. Yeah, I did. Yes, there's a fatwa on my head. There have been 6 attempts on my life. I've got the scars to prove it. You should try living your life when people like, losers in Antifa and Black Lives Matter, Communist League, and so on, and hired thugs are constantly on your case. But hey, listen, I'm still here. They have come at me with every weapon imaginable, and I'm still here. All right, keep going. Thank you, Karen, for the rose. I greatly appreciate that. I'm just going to keep going. Amazing history there. I love Italy. How was jail? I don't know. Did you want to join me next time? Canadian prisons, now that this sarcastic individual has asked that stupid question, but Canadian prisons are, they are gross and reprehensibly violent places. They are worse than American prisons by a lot. What they'll do is they'll lock you in your cell for anywhere between 21 and 23 hours a day. Everybody. You don't get exercise time. There's no gymnasiums to use. Everybody looks at concrete all the time. You cannot see the outdoors at all from anywhere within the prison. And they'll feed you less than 900 calories a day. Now, have a look at my face. And have a look at my upper body and whatnot. I weigh 200 pounds right now. The last time that the Canadian government put me in prison for running for mayor of Calgary and doing it well, I lost 35 pounds in 7 weeks because there's just not enough food in there. It is designed specifically to make you suffer. That's Canada is an evil, horrendous, communist, Marxist dump. If you are here and you have the means to leave, I suggest that you do. Okay. So not really me. You're out of here. Yeah, you don't have enough followers for me to care about your particular negative attitude, so get lost. Thank you. Can we talk about Justin Trudeau's missing brother, no body? I think if I go down that road on TikTok, they'll ban me. I better not. I'll do that one on Rumble only and at a later time. Wait, what did you say about what Trudeau did? I told you at the beginning here. Trudeau, within his first 3 months in office, legalized bestiality in Canada. Okay, I mean, he went public with that. He also lowered the age for consent to anal sex from 16 to 14, and he was proud of that too. The guy's a pervert. The guy's a sicko. Why do you think his wife left him? She didn't just leave him this year. She stopped everything with this guy 5 years ago. How do we get rid of Trudeau? Oh, I can't say. I know what the answer is, but I can't say it on a social media platform, unfortunately. Alrighty. Ryan's saying here, it'd be nice not to spend $650 million with zero payback plans. Yeah, our government gave $650 million to Ukraine for money laundering purposes. That's all that it is. When Trudeau is done in office, he knows he's going to have to leave Canada and never come back. So what he's doing here is he's setting up trust funds elsewhere with our money in other countries. Costa Rica and Ukraine are the two places that he's trying to hide money. Costa Rica wouldn't accept his money, so Ukraine did. Yeah. Now, he's going to live large. He's going to be a billionaire, that guy. He hasn't earned it, but no one's doing a damn thing to stop it. Period. All right. Good job, Kevin. The Parliament of Canada has been put in place by the World Economic Forum, including our Minister of Finance. Canada has been to utilize to test what they want. Yeah. Okay, so the World Economic Forum essentially does own this country, pretty much, and owns everybody in Parliament. The World Economic Forum are as evil as they come. I know this because I've been to Asia, and they are not popular there. Did you pay the $650K yet? No, you idiot. That is on appeal. All right. So when things are on appeal, you don't pay. It's going to be another year before the appeal even gets heard. You see, your information's out of date. Stop watching the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. And Rio Skiing, it says, Sophie left Trudeau because she realized he was into men. Well, and animals, obviously. So, yeah, any smart woman would leave a man who's into men and animals. I think most women watching would leave, wouldn't you? Trump is fighting the charges, bitching he won, and doing to make honest elections. Oh, well, Trump won. We know that. Biden didn't win any regions until like the last 5 minutes of the election because those Dominion machines manufactured in Toronto are as crooked as they come. Those machines are easily influenced. Why do they have network switches on them? All right. Why? So that somebody can tap in and change the election numbers. Okay. I could have mentioned the other examples, but I figured you gladly meant. Yeah. Listen, I'll do anything to tell the truth about the Liberal Party of Canada. They're all psycho. None of the men who are in politics right now have any testosterone in their bodies whatsoever. Did you know that when you take a liberal-minded man, a left-wing nut, and you inject them with testosterone, that their opinions within 24 hours switch to right-wing opinions? Did you know that? It's because their lack of estrogen, their lack of testosterone makes them left-wing beta cucks. And if you are a left-wing male, you're a beta cuck. We got no use for you. Okay. All right. So many people are asleep. How are we going to survive Trudeau? Well, we're not, because Pierre Poilievre, even though he's the leader of the Conservative Party, he is a member of the World Economic Forum, and he's had many opportunities to tell Canadians that he'll lock Justin Trudeau up. And of course, he dodges the question. He's no savior. All right. There are no political saviors in Canada. What'll happen is if Pierre Poilievre wins the prime ministership of Canada, we'll get about 6 months to a year of peace, just like we're having right now in Alberta. And after that, all the new World Economic Forum policies that we've been trying to dodge are going to go in full swing. So it doesn't matter who wins this federal election. We're done. All right, Rick Smith. With all the teachers pushing perverse crap on kids, maybe they all became teachers to touch children. You know, I better be careful when I say that, only because we can get blocked on social media for it. But what kind of a teacher teaches these radical leftist things to kids? I had a teacher in my grade 8 class. His name was Mark Ferruccio. He was a pedo. Constantly had his hands all over girls between ages 10 and like 12. Guy was sick. Yeah, they really are sick. The education system in Canada does not vet people like that. They don't weed them out. They just put them in schools. Okay. Oh, okay. So 80s baby is saying that, see, this is how stupid people are. All right. You're a really stupid person, and I'm going to block you in a second, but I want you to hear me. Okay. The Canadian government put me in prison because I polled number 1 in the Calgary mayor race, and I promised to put every member that was responsible in the medical facilities, the responsible for putting masks on children and shutting down the city, in prison. I said I was going to send SWAT out to come and get them. They couldn't have that. So they locked me up and they banned me from social media for a couple of months. But because 80s baby, you watch CBC and you don't do your own research because you can't read, I suppose, you don't know that I beat 75 criminal charges in this province. 75 charges. I smoked them. We crushed the courts. We won. Obviously, I'm on social media and you're going bye-bye because we can't stand left-wing losers like yourself, Sarah, or whatever your name might be. Gone. All right. There's a lot of negative naysayers, folks, that come in here and they try to get on my nerves. It's not going to work. But what they'll do is they quote news articles from a year or two or so ago, and then they'll state that they're currently active or they're currently true. If you want to get into this game, and that is being a journalist or an armchair journalist or whatever they call it, you need to check your sources. And if your sources are the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation and CTV, you're going to get it wrong every single time. Bear says, no one says your name in Calgary, dude. Yeah, they do. No one says your name. No one knows who you are. But everybody in Alberta knows who I am. Remember, the left wing couldn't help themselves. When I was running for mayor, they put me on the front page of every newspaper in the country, not the province. I didn't ask them to. They did it on their own. They gave me over $5 million in free advertising just by saying, racist Kevin J. Johnston. They always say the word racist. Because they don't know any better. They don't know any other terms. And the word racist no longer means anything to anyone, really. All right, we've got some questions here. Kevin, what should happen to Trudeau and the scum for bringing a real Nazi SS soldier into our parliament buildings? Well, they should be tried and imprisoned for life for high treason, but nothing's going to happen because Canadians won't do anything to make it happen. If you had a chance to leave Canada, which country would you go to that is free? I've thought about that for quite some time, Jonathan, and it's a matter of wanting to go to places where the countries are working very hard to become first world countries. So let me name some of them that are: El Salvador, Costa Rica, Panama, Chile, Sri Lanka, and even Indonesia. They're all trying to become first world nations. They're building better architectural feats than we are. They have better banking systems than we do. They've got better education than we do. Brazil, Argentina, and Chile and Panama all have better medical than Canada does. Like, they're 20 years ahead of us. So Canada is way behind. Like, we're 50 years behind the Japanese in video games and other technologies, phone technologies. We're at least 20 years behind the Americans in telephone service and internet and technologies. And we're 20 years behind half the planet in medical. So I think, Jonathan, out of the 180 plus countries that there are, I don't know, I'd say there's about 40 that I could select easily. 40. All right. Just going to look at all your questions here, folks. Let me just jump into the email box and see what we have in the way of questions there. Okay. And these, try to avoid generic questions, people. Be a bit more specific. Tell me something you think is true that almost nobody agrees with you on. What do I think is true that almost nobody agrees with me on? The reason that I'm the number one podcaster in Canada is because a lot of people agree with me and so on. But my opinions tend to not be popular because I'm not a contrarian deliberately. I tend to be a contrarian only because I do my research and I don't follow along with what everybody has to say. Let me give you a prime example. Everybody says that Empire Strikes Back was the best Star Wars movie out of the original trilogy. I'm a contrarian. I say, well, no, it wasn't, because almost nothing happened. When I stop and think about it, 3 major events happened within it. But then you go to Return of the Jedi, and more than a dozen major events have all taken place, and everybody was more involved with it. These are the things that I do, is I actually break down why the general populace has the general belief of a select thing, and then I'll really itemize it, break it down, and I'll come out with my honest opinions based on what I know. So I end up being a contrarian only because I do more research and I think deeper than the others. Okay. 80s baby is calling me a loser. Okay. Big deal. Okay. Yes. I did almost freeze to death in the field, but I'm a survivor. So I didn't, because I'm amazing and you're not. There you go. Feelings on the standing ovation from the entire HOC supporting a former Nazi? I'm embarrassed, but I've been embarrassed to be a Canadian citizen for quite some time. And it is absolutely embarrassing to know that when I grew up in the 70s and 80s, that this was the best country on the planet. And now I wouldn't give you $5 for it. So Yeah, I'm embarrassed. I mean, I don't want to tell people I'm a Canadian citizen because look who's in charge. Look at every branch and every level of Canadian government. Look how horribly our country is run. Look how stupid our entire leadership is. Look at how pathetic our education system is. No, I'm embarrassed about that. Horribly. Oh, here we go. Big Fluff says, you lie. Remand is not like that. Gym on every unit. Oh, yeah? Well, when the door is locked, you can't use it, and they tell you that you can't use it, and you're not going to use it. What's the point of having a gym that has how many different weights on it? 3? It's got 3 exercises on it, and the doors were locked because they were punishing everybody. So don't give me that crap, you idiot. You weren't there, or maybe you were, but either way, the doors were locked. Done. Okay. I'm just going to look through all the questions here. So I'm looking at like 7 different chat rooms. Bear with me here, please. No, Mistel, I'm not saying there's nothing we can do to save ourselves. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not saying there's no hope. Oh my God, that's the last thing that I would say. No. If you've been watching my show for the last 6 years, there is a lot of things that I repeat. Number 1, go to the gym, stay strong, because when your body is strong, your mind is strong. Fill your head with knowledge. Read books on subjects that you don't like so that you know more about the world around you. If you got a family, you got kids, you got a mom, you got a dad, you got grandparents, spend more time with them. Hug them, man. Like, be closer with them. No. There is hope. But I'm trying to tell you here that if you are looking to live in a country where entrepreneurship is like boosted and admired, where a loud political voice is admired, where talent is admired, Canada is the wrong place. There is hope if you go elsewhere. I'm telling you that the country of Canada itself, it's going to fail completely. It will crash and it will burn. When the bank rate goes to 9%, you can count on half of the population of the country losing their homes. That's how it's going to be. So there's no hope here, but there's hope everywhere else. There are some incredible countries out there right now. El Salvador is one of them. There are great places to go. The big reason that people don't pick up and leave is that they've become very comfortable with their creature habits and their creature comforts. You know, you like the idea of going to McDonald's or Tim Hortons or Starbucks for your cup of coffee, and there's one on every corner. Who cares about that? You don't need that kind of comfort. You know what you can do? If you're in a place like Costa Rica, for example, you can go to any mom and pop shop and get a really good cup of coffee. I don't know if you've ever had Costa Rican coffee. It's freaking amazing. So you can get your creature comforts. You can get coffee anywhere in the world. You can have Wi-Fi anywhere in the world. I mean, I was in the war zone in Myanmar, and there was Wi-Fi in the major towns and the villages. They had Wi-Fi. We found it everywhere. Creature comforts exist in every country in the world now, even places that you wouldn't think of, like Kenya, like Niger, even Lesotho has got Wi-Fi everywhere. Come on, man. Think about that. No, there's hope. But you have to decide for yourself if you want to be involved with this far left crazy agenda in Canada, or if you want to be part of a conservative government somewhere. So we've got the Donald Trump of Argentina. He's got it. Like he's going to be the president. We have right-wing governments showing up all over the world now. There are better places to be. Don't lose hope, but do decide for yourself fast if it's worthwhile trying to live in Canada. Let me tell you why it's not. For the international audience right now, you can get a house built in the 1940s, and houses that were built in the 1940s, they suck. Like layout, they suck. Architecturally, they suck. My God, from an R value, they suck. But if you're going to buy a crappy home that's almost 100 years old right now in Canada, and you're doing so in a crappy part of town, you're still looking at $500,000 for a piece of garbage house. Why would you want to do that? You can go to the United States and you can buy 5 houses for the same amount of money if you go to a Republican state with a good economy, where the local economies are tied into housing prices and vice versa. Canada is the biggest money laundering country in the world, which is why property is so expensive. I would never recommend to anybody thinking about living in Canada to come to Canada. It's a horrible place. Well, now it is. It was amazing in the 80s, but it sucks now. Okay, hold on. I check all the chats here. Hold on. Let me check Rumble quickly. Okay. Next lockdowns. Jonathan, next lockdowns will be coming in about 4 weeks, maybe 5. All right. They've already locked down a couple spots in Calcutta and Mumbai in India. And the British government just announced that there's going to be a pandemic. They just know. They just know there's going to be a new one. Like newspapers are predicting pandemics now. Think about why that would be. I can't say too much on TikTok because they'll block me like a bunch of savages and whatever. Okay. Scroll down here. Yes, Bear. Justin Trudeau legalized bestiality in Canada. Yes, he did. I'm a journalist. That's what I do for a living. Rose, Canada's done, but other places are not. There are better places to be. So don't lose hope. Okay. Yeah, Bear meets an idiot, Rose. You're right. He is. I love you, brother. Did you hear about the largest class action lawsuit in Alberta? Well, if it's against the Alberta Health Services, then yeah. If it's against Jason Kenney, yeah. Which one are you talking about? Okay. Karen says, don't forget the biolabs in Ukraine. Yeah, the Ukraine it's a very crooked place. It's a horrible place. Child trafficking is out of control. Human trafficking is out of control. And biological weapon development centers are everywhere. Russia, I know you don't want to hear this, but Russia are the good guys in this. And we're the bad guys in this. We should not be involved in any way, shape, or form. Period. This has nothing to do with Canada at all. Putin doesn't care about Canada. Well, he does now because our government's threatening him. Like little puny Justin Trudeau is threatening Putin. We're not a nuclear power. Russia is. They've got over 5,000 nuclear weapons. We have none. And let's be honest here, our military sucks. With the exception of our special forces, Canadian special forces guys, you don't mess with them. All right. They're phenomenal because they've been trained in everything: winter combat, night combat, summer combat, desert combat. Yeah. But the regular armed forces, they're too busy putting on lipstick. They're too busy putting on high heels. They're too busy flying pride flags. What the hell's going on? Hey, we have no chance. So why are we threatening Russia? Well, we're not. Trudeau is. Yeah. Think about that. Hello, Liz. Salute to you as well. Guy, can we turn this country around? Yes. Here's what has to happen. The country has to crash completely. The country must enter 10 years, just like at any other point in the past, 10 years of strife and battles in the street before strong men rise up from the ashes once again and do something about it. But the way that it is now, no, can't be. 89 new messages here. Woohoo. Check this out. Okay, Bear is out of here because Bear is just a vulgar, crass fool. Bye-bye. All right. When you're asking questions, folks, could you just ask whatever you want? Just keep it within good taste, okay? That's all I ask. If you swear and you reference genitalia, you're out of here. I don't have time for that nonsense. Okay. Yes, Falcon. Russia is laughing their asses off at us. But not just because Trudeau's an idiot, because the Canadian people are not behaving themselves in any particular professional manner. All right? Look at how hard we're working to put left-wing ideology into our schools. The Russians are laughing at us for everything. Yeah. Tell me about it. Okay. Okay, hold on there. Let's just get rid of this bear. I thought I got rid of this bear idiot. Let's try one more time. Block and confirm. Okay. Yeah, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, they are crooks, guys. They get $1.4 billion a year of tax money to run their station, and they can't put one show in the top 10. Like, it's been for almost a decade now. Not one show in the top 10 in the ratings. Think about how pathetic that is. Do you know why? Because it's government money. It's tax money. They don't lose their jobs there. So they can put the the worst crap on the market that nobody wants to watch, and they'll still get their paychecks. Yeah. Karen says, go to Italy, people matter. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed, though, in their new president. She was supposed to stop this mass immigration nonsense by turning them back, and she hasn't been doing it. So she's going to have to pick up her socks a bit there. Falcon, I know you love your country, and I would like to as well. The problem is, Falcon, I'm 52. Tomorrow, I'm 52. And I'm comparing Canada today to what I was privileged to grow up in. The 1970s and the 1980s were absolutely incredible. And I mean, Falcon, over the top incredible. Gas was 42 cents a liter when I was 18 years old. Movies were $4, $5 maybe. A pack of M&Ms, the peanut ones, the ones I like, they were 45 cents. Pack of gum was about 35 cents. I could go to any of the trendy restaurants in Toronto and pay $6 for an entree. But I was making $18 an hour at a grocery store. I was also making $400 a night as a DJ on the weekends, plus tips. Falcon, I made about $2,000 a week from ages 18 to 21. That's how much money there was in the economy. So we always had money in our pockets. We could go to concerts whenever we wanted. We could take day trips when we wanted. We could do camping trips when we wanted. There were days where my friends and I, we were bored. It would be 11 o'clock in the morning. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I'd say something like, let's go to Montreal. It's a 5-hour drive. So we'd say, yeah. We'd get in the car. We'd buy a big lunch. We'd fill the gas tank. We'd go to Montreal. We'd get a really high-end hotel room. We'd go to the casino and blow some money. And we still had money in our pockets. Falcon, it was incredible when I was growing up. Now it's garbage. People are making $8 an hour, $13 an hour, and they're trying to carry mortgages of $500,000. It's impossible. You could buy houses in 1988 for $90,000, right? Think about how crazy that comparison really is. I miss the 80s. And Liz says, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, John and Gwen. Yeah. Oh, guys, join me on the show tomorrow. The Kevin J. Johnston show is every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Just type in freedomreport.ca and the show will be on. We're going to have cake on the show tomorrow. So thanks for being here. Karen, thank you for the pair of roses. Greatly appreciate that. Rick Smith says, yeah, life was good living in Alberta. Lots of work in the oil patch. Yeah, Alberta was incredible back then, man. The province of Alberta was making more money as a province than most countries were at the time. I mean, the money was everywhere in this country in the 80s. My God, everybody was rich. All right. Oh my God, 90 new messages here. Let me go. So I'm going to miss a lot of things. I have to go to the bottom here. Karen says the 70s and 80s rocked. Yes. What in the 80s? Alberta was dying. Well, no, it wasn't, because every single oil patch was open. There was money to be made. Everybody in Ontario was leaving to go to Alberta to find jobs, because there were parts of Ontario in the north, like North Bay, Sudbury, Thunder Bay, and so on, where you couldn't find work. Everybody went to Alberta and they found work. All right. Falcon says that you'd like it to be the same for your generation. That's what scares you now. Okay, Falcon, but understand this. There are opportunities to have the same type of teen years that I had in other countries. 3 that I'll name right off the top: Panama, Costa Rica, El Salvador, because they're working very hard on becoming first world nations. So, having said that, you're not going to have what I had today in Canada, but you'll have it elsewhere. You know where else you'll have it? South Korea. Falcon, how old are you? Why don't you put it in the list there? How old are you? Because it sounds to me like you're about 18, 19 years of age, which is good, because I've got more advice for you at that age. Advice that I've already given to my son, who's 21. Very, very important advice that he's listening to. And I'm glad that he is, because, I want the best for my kids, right? I'm a father, and I want my kids to be better than me, smarter than me, thinner than me, richer than me. I want them to be better than me. Like, that's what dads do. We cheer our kids on, man. We truly, truly do. Okay. Did I see the front page of the Toronto Sun today? No, but tell you what, I'll do that right now. Let's have a quick look. There's got to be something there that you're asking me to look at. All right. Hold on. Okay, so I found the website. It doesn't necessarily say much. Trudeau Liberals embarrass Canada and fuel Russian propaganda. Okay, that we knew about. The Toronto Maple Leafs lose. Who cares? Who cares about them? All right. Yeah, so tell me, I have no time. What did you want me to look at on Toronto Sun? I've got the website up right now for you. Okay. Falcon, you're a student at TMU. Oh, Toronto University, Mississauga. Gotcha. Okay. I'm not dissuading you here, but I am going to tell you to be very, very careful who you listen to in university these days. When I was your age, universities were a blast. Like, it was party central. You know, you could crack any joke you want. You could say anything you wanted. You could go to any party you wanted. And, you know, the truth is, nobody gave a crap about your skin color, your religion, or otherwise. Everyone partied. All you had to do to be welcome at a party was show up and be decent. And that's it. So we had all that. There was no left-wing ideologies back then. We weren't being told, hey, listen, you can't crack that racist joke. Hey, you know, oh, geez, that's a black joke. My cousin's sister's boyfriend's uncle has a roommate who's black. So you can't crack jokes because of that. That's how stupid people are now. The other thing is, education standards are low. Like, do you know that we're not even in the top 50 for education standards? And that includes in university. And that's a problem. Please, Falcon, do not let the left wing influence your thought processes. Let me tell you what's really, really good about being a male. Obviously, you're a young man. Go to the gym. Build some muscle. All right. I'm single. You know, my ex and I, we decided we're going to be best friends. Like, we're awesome friends, but we've gone our separate ways. I'm single. Do you know what chicks dig? Muscles, dude. They dig muscles. All right. No matter what they say about, oh, I don't care about that kind of thing. Oh, no. They love it. All right. Falcon, work your body out because chicks dig that. Form opinions for yourself, but make sure that you're basing those opinions on fact, because women like a guy who is intelligent. Women like a guy who is going to express their opinion and then stand by it. Also, develop a skill that women pay attention to. And ladies, I know some of you are going to get upset and call me sexist. Never mind that stuff, okay? Let's just tell the truth here. That's what I do. So, Falcon, what I'm trying to tell you here is I need you to build a skill. If you can play an instrument incredibly well, you will have your choice of higher quality women. If you are a great public speaker, that's my craft. I've perfected public speaking. You will get women who are interested in talking with you based on the fact that they will perceive your capacity to speak publicly as a very high level of confidence, which it is in time, not instantaneously, but in time. The other thing is, be smart. Like, read the dictionary. If you're on the can or on the subway or wherever you're going, forget your video games on the phone. Read the dictionary. My vocabulary is over 130,000 words. Now, it took me 52 years to be able to build that particular amount of vocabulary up. Let me tell you something, though. And this is something that they probably won't teach you in University of Toronto. Words. The English language, as far as I am concerned, is the most powerful language on the planet because it has borrowed rules and words and inflections from every other language around the world and throughout the course of history. There are strong Latin roots, for example, in English. Now, English is also not unique, but powerful in that it doesn't follow German or French or any of the other languages that have the masculine and the feminine. So you don't have to memorize a bunch of verbs unnecessarily. Also, languages like Japanese, the same spelling of the same word can mean 5 different things so long as you have a different meow inflection partway through. And English, because the tongue is at the front of the mouth, it can shape more sounds. And those who speak English are able to mock other accents better than someone who is trained in, let's say, Mandarin or Cantonese. Mandarin and Cantonese, it was explained to me actually quite well as to why there are so many long sounds in it, is because the tongue is not on the teeth, the tongue is on the roof of the mouth and in the back of the mouth to bring forward sounds, which is why Chinese folks have such a difficult time with English, because they still have their tongue in the back of the mouth. Now, more on this. And I'm hoping that everybody in university is paying attention to what I'm saying right now, because listen, a 21-year-old guy has decided to come in here and stick around and listen. And I appreciate that. So, words. The average man at age 40 knows about 40,000 words by the time he is 40 years of age. The hyper-successful businessman at the same age knows between 80 and 90,000 words. Now, in English, every single word is associated with a person, a place, a thing, an action, a historical event, a technicality, a technical thing, a bit of law, whatever it might be. So imagine, because each word means something, is associated with a thing, the hyper-successful businessman knows 50,000 more things than the average guy. That's why he's successful. Think about that. So forget everything that they're going to try to tell you about English being bad, about being masculine being bad. It's amazing. Masculinity is amazing. You should embrace it. They're going to tell you that you're sexist because, let's say, for example, you are a man who wants a traditional wife to have a family with, and that you can trust her, that she loves her children enough and her family enough to raise those kids with you as a team properly. That's not a bad thing, man, at all. My marriage lasted 22 years, and it was good for quite some time. It was amazing to be able to raise 2 children with a woman who was my wife. It was phenomenal. Don't let them tell you that these things are bad. Also, Falcon, make sure you've got a driver's license. Get as many licenses as you possibly can for as many things as possible. If you're capable of getting a AZ license so you can drive air brake trucks, get that. You may never use it, but get it. Why? Because you're going to know more about more things. You'll know how to drive a bigger vehicle. You'll know more about the rules of the road. But make sure you have a driver's license. The whole thing about cars, never mind this modern garbage out there. Never mind Teslas. $100,000 for a piece of crap car that doesn't even work in the cold, that lights on fire for no reason. Forget that crap. Forget all these $90,000, $140,000 modern cars with dashboards that completely light up. Forget that nonsense. If you're able to make a deal with your folks, your aunts, your uncles, your boss, whoever it might be, buy cars that are 30 years old and older and take care of them, maintain them incredibly well. Because a car that old is not going to come with GPS units inside and is also going to be cheap to maintain because the parts for cars that old are everywhere. And you've got a car. And chicks dig a guy with muscles, a skill, and a car. I'm a single guy, and I'm in the dating game right now. And I can tell you honestly that women do love all the above. And they admit this to me. They absolutely. I've got Maxi Vest Laval wants to come in. I don't know who you are, but shoot me a quick email if you want to come in. I don't bring people in the show that I haven't vetted or at least spoken to in the past. Okay. Now, some kids are going to tell you here not to listen to me. All right. Who the hell are they? All right. I've lived in 20 plus major cities. I've been to 12 countries. I know what it's like to be shot at. I know what it's like to be stabbed. I know what it's like to have attempts on my life. I know what it's like to live alone, live in a pickup truck, and live in a large house. I've been broke twice in life, and I've been rich twice in life. I know these things. And the reason I'm saying these things to you is that every single time I had a major loss in life, a loss of money, a loss of a family member, a loss of whatever it might be, I'm able to bounce back because I know these things. And I would like the same thing for you and everybody else in your generation and in your age. I really want that for you. I want all of you out there to find happiness in some way. I truly do. It's the left-wing nuts out there that want to convince you that I'm a bad guy. They want to convince you that my ideas are old and stagnant and somehow bad for you. Truly, they're not. I really do like people. The left wing, they like themselves and whatever they can get for free by screaming at the top of their lungs. That's all they like. Okay. All right, so we got someone here called B. Garner. If you're going to be a left-wing nut and insult people, I'm going to boot you. If you have a legitimate question, you can stick around. All right. Quality women. Hey, guys, there are still some left. There are. And there are quality men left. Don't lose hope. There are quality people. The best way to find out what kind of a woman or man you want to be with is you got to date. You got to have relationships, all right? They're not all going to work. That you can't know what you love until you know what you hate. And the whole idea of dating is you're shopping for a life partner. It's shopping. It literally is shopping. And regardless of what the left wing says, it's not sexist for me to say so. It's factual. All right. I'm so happy I didn't marry any of the first 40 plus girlfriends I had. Thank God I didn't marry any, because none of them ended up being happy people, which is unfortunate. I really hope that they would have. But the idea of being involved with unhappy people, it's not a good thing. It truly isn't. It's like this guy watched the Barbie movie. No, I would never watch that crap ever. You couldn't pay me to go. Sorry, pal, but your insults don't make sense. What shape do you think that the earth is? Every show we get this. It's round. But I'm going to tell you something. If I was to discover that it's flat, I wouldn't care at all. It's not going to change who I am, and it's not going to change my dreams and my goals, and it's not going to change my ability to do the right thing. Who gives a crap? You know, the other guys ask, do you believe men walked on the moon? I don't care. Right? I don't. It's a 3-day trip at 25,000 miles an hour. I'm not going. I have no desire to go, and I couldn't care less if Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were there either. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Think about things that help you. Focus on things that make your life better. Round Earth, flat Earth, moonwalks, no moonwalks, aliens living in the sewer. These things don't help you. Come on, man. Okay. All right. So B. Garner, you're too negative. You don't need to be here. Let's just get rid of you. Okay. Gone. The quality woman comment, not cool. I was saying, someone said that there weren't, I think they were implying that there weren't quality women out there. There are. What's not cool about that? I'm kind of dating a really high quality woman right now. Sweetheart. There are quality women out there, and it's cool for me to say so. All right. How are my kids? You don't know them, but they're doing incredibly well because I raised them, and I raised them properly, incredibly well. All right. Alex is asking, who are you? Kevin J. Johnston, Canada's #1 podcaster. I'm the guy that ran for mayor in 2 different cities on 3 separate occasions. I placed second in my hometown of Mississauga, and every single member of the government is positively terrified when I walk in the room with a microphone because I'm the only journalist that asks them real questions, and they don't like it. Hold on. We got more questions here. The weapons being, Rizo King, the weapons that are being sent to the Ukraine by America and Canada are extremely obsolete. I forget the model number of the tank that the Americans sent them, but the tank that's been sent to Ukraine's obsolete. It has a jet engine in it, and whether the tank drives or just sits still and is powered on, it burns the same amount of fuel. Here's the thing, everybody, is that war has changed. And every country in the world, with the exception of about 20 of them, have spy satellites. Ukraine and Russia, they've got spy satellites. Russia especially. So if you're going to be running tanks that have jet engines in them, what kind of a heat signature do you think that it's going to give off? It's going to be as hot as a jet. And the satellites are going to see you. And as soon as they see you, they're going to send artillery in, or missiles. Missiles more than artillery, because they're a lot more accurate. This is a stupid war. It has nothing to do with us at all, period. Okay. Just going to go through more questions here. Let me check the email box, everybody. Give me a second. I'll check that right now. Again, if you have any questions, this is Your Questions Answered, Part 9. And ask any question that you wish. Just keep it adult. Cool. All right, hold on. All right, someone's asking me if I want to buy a juice that stimulates the pineal gland. No. And never mind this pineal gland stuff. Okay, how many times have I heard this one? If you stimulate the pineal gland, you can see other dimensions. Who has seen other dimensions? Yeah, what doctors, what scientists, what whatevers are doing this? Do you know? No, you don't. Let's not talk about science fiction stuff, okay? Unless you want to talk about which is better, Star Trek or Star Wars. That's legit. But yeah, moving on. Okay, perfect statement. What is reality? Okay, right and left, it's all an illusion. They want us fighting each other. Yes, the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, he said it himself in his own book. Like, read his book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution. Read it. He says he wants everyone fighting each other. He wants Jews fighting Muslims. He wants Christians fighting Jews. He wants blacks fighting whites. That's what he wants. All right? He wants Toronto Maple Leaf fans fighting against Montreal Canadiens fans, like anything in the NHL matters. He wants everybody fighting everybody. That's how they win. It's divide and conquer. Yeah, you're absolutely right, which is why you don't see me out there fist fighting with people. You see me asking questions and debating, but I'm not going to fight anybody. It's pointless. My Campy Susan, why did you make threats of violence against AHS workers? That never happened. Not once. It doesn't matter that CBC said that it did. It didn't happen. What I said was that everybody responsible for the fake nonsense that was going on, the needles that we didn't need, the masks that did nothing, and the shutting down of the entire Calgary economy, illegally, I might add, that I was going to deal with that by imprisoning everybody, by sending SWAT out to arrest them. I threatened nobody. You see, here's the problem, my Campy Susan. You watch the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. You watch CTV. That's not real news. They didn't even ask me what my opinion was on that. And whenever they submitted clips, they grabbed what I said and they got their snippets and they put everything out of context. Context is everything. So, my Campy Susan, if you're able to find a single video anywhere in the last 5 to 7 years that I've made, which is more than 5,700 videos. If you can find one threat, I'll quit. I'll never podcast again. I'll step down and walk away. Let me tell you something, Campy Susan, or whatever your name is. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police and the Cyber Crimes Division of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and CSIS all went through every video I ever made. And they wrote a report that after 5,700 videos having been watched, yeah, tax dollars at work, right? They couldn't find sedition, intimidation, uttering threats, counsel to a crime, terrorist threats. They couldn't find anything. So if the RCMP watched everything I ever did and couldn't find anything, what would make you think that the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation got the story right? Yeah, there you go. Be an adult and do your own research. Carl, did you pay your fines? Laugh out loud. Hey, Carl, did you wipe your bum? God, you people are stupid sometimes. Falcon, yeah, it is a lot to digest. Everything I'm saying because I've got 52 years on this planet. Come tomorrow at 9 a.m. And I've done a lot of things. I've had a lot of jobs. I've lived in a lot of cities. I've dated a lot of people. I've had a lot of friends. The average person, by the time they die, has met 10,000 people. I'm sure that I've met over 300,000. And that's in all the countries that I have been to. And I've been to 3 different war zones. So I've seen like just the trashiest side of humanity, like just the worst that humanity has to offer. And the reason I keep the smile on my face is because this is an ugly world where you can see ugly things on a moment's notice. And when I was in the Myanmarian war zone, I was appalled at seeing children having been slaughtered with swords. It's an ugly world. Human beings are terrible, but there are also good human beings out there. And my encouragement that I'm giving you now is to get you to use your imagination in that there are people who willingly will kidnap someone's child and cut them into pieces and eat them. That's how bad people can be. So you need to understand that that exists so that you can start looking out for that. And when you come across people that you know have something wrong with them, that you perceive them to be evil, get away from them and go towards the good people in your life, the positive people in your life, because there are good people out there. Let's not get discouraged here. Watch out for the bad, spend your time with the good. And also, Falcon, I would encourage you, I really would encourage you, please build your vocabulary beyond what everybody else is. You have to do everything more than the average if you want to be better than the average. There's one more thing that you really need to do. A lot of people get their backs up because they'll volunteer their time at a church or coach hockey, coach soccer. They'll just volunteer to help people out. And then when it comes time for them to get help, no one shows up to help them. That's life. Be the guy that volunteers all of the time. You want to be the guy that's helped as many people as you possibly can, even if it's only walking somebody across the street. You certainly want to be that one, because then there are times where it comes back tenfold. There are times. I mean, I've been giving people advice like this for a long time. I've volunteered my time in coaching youth sports for almost 40 years. I started when I was young, like 11 years old. I was already coaching hockey. I have dedicated a great deal of my time to just being around people in various religious groups, in various social groups, social settings, and so on. And I can tell you that there have been times where people have absolutely floored me with massive donations or a free place to stay for a couple of months while I got back on my feet, because I've had a couple of low points in life. Or they'll just show up and they've got a massive dinner with them, and all they want to do is just sit and eat with me. It does come back to you. And there are other times where I'm in public and people will come up to me. And this is the part I get emotional about this because it's really cool, right? People will come up to me and they'll thank me for things that I've said, or they'll thank me for having helped them a couple of years earlier. And they introduce their children to me and their families to me. It's beautiful, man. So do that. Not because you want something in return, but because karma has a way of repaying you positively. It is a good thing. Okay. Let's go to the Rumble room. Oh, and by the way, just ignore the left wing guys, okay? The ones that will tell you not to listen to me, not to be a better man. There's going to be a lot of your friends out there who maybe aren't your friends, because they're going to tell you, don't go to the gym, don't get stronger, don't get a car, don't learn new things, don't start a business, don't take a chance, don't ask that chick out, they're going to tell you these things, all right? Billionaires never criticize people like you and me who start businesses up. The people who have never run one will tell us, oh, you're crazy, don't do that, you're going to lose your shirt, all right? professional hockey players never laugh or mock people who put on skates for the first time and learn how to skate. But people who don't know how to skate, never will and never wanted to, they'll tell you, you're going to break an ankle. You're going to break a head. You're going to break this. You're crazy. Don't do that. No, ignore all of those people. They're not there to help you. What they're there to do is try to keep you down with them. So, Falcon, I'm going to tell a joke now. It's my favorite joke. It's clean. It's clean. Little Johnny is tired of the Marxist crap in Toronto. His teachers are pushing left-wing garbage on him all the time. So his parents say, why don't we send little Johnny to go and stay with Uncle Bob in Halifax on the East Coast for a bit? Maybe he'll learn how to fish or something. So little Johnny goes and stays with Uncle Bob in Halifax. And Uncle Bob has a really good day pulling up lobsters from the ocean and fills a bucket full of lobsters. But that's when little Johnny says, oh my gosh, because there's a lobster that was getting to the top of the bucket and was just about to get out. And he says, Uncle, that lobster's about to get away. Yeah. And because it's Halifax, Uncle Bob's got a glass like this full of beer. He takes a sip and puts it down, and cracks his head. He looks over casually and says, oh, those are Canadian lobsters. The other ones, we'll just drag them back down. All right. And that is a lesson in that our culture in Canada is one where we discourage each other from being better. We don't encourage each other. Every single Canadian celebrity couldn't make money in Canada because Canadians wouldn't support them. I mean, Jim Carrey, the best that he could do when he was doing Yuck Yucks was like me. When I did Yuck Yucks, I got $125 a night. Yeah, that's all he got. So he goes to the United States and they start paying him $20 million for a movie. And then what do Canadians say? Oh, Jim Carrey, he's Canadian, man. Yeah, but you didn't do anything for him. You waited until he became successful in another country to do something. So understand, Falcon, that Canadian culture, unfortunately, is wrapped around repression and holding each other back. If you want to really succeed, you can't be here. Okay. Someone, oh my God, will you guys stop with this flat earth crap? Not interested. Okay. Not interested. Yes, my campy Susan, take advice from a single guy who's had more lovers than you'll ever have and who has been treated well and poorly and who has treated women well and poorly as I was growing up and learning. All right. So what I'm doing here is imparting the wisdom that I have acquired over the years. That's what I'm doing. Now, and there's a lot of men out there who really do want a girlfriend and a wife, but they have no idea how to navigate women these days. Fortunately, I do, and I'm here to help them with that. And there's a lot of women out there who would like to understand men better. Well, I understand men better than anyone, and I'm really honest about the way men are. So there's a lot of women that benefit from what I tell them about how to handle men. Like men are, wow, God, we are such simple creatures. The only time that's not true is if a man's really insecure, in which case, walk. There we go. Karen's saying we should do coffee when I come to Alberta. Yeah, we should. I'm always in. All right. Is Chris Sky your boyfriend? Do better. All right, do better. Your insults need to be clever or cleverer than that. That's not really an insult. Chris Sky is a friend of mine. He's an awesome guy who treats people incredibly well. There you go. And Chris Sky is someone who's able to influence people. So whoever you are, who are you? Carl, YYC. Oh, so Calgary Carl. I got you. You should talk to him. Just have a conversation if you can, one-on-one, mano a mano. And you'll find he's just a regular guy who just likes people. But no, he's not my boyfriend. I'm hetero, remember? Okay. Ha ha ha. Oh my God, Kevin, you're the best. Haley, thank you for that. Greatly appreciated. All right. Paul says, being kind to people with no expectations helps me. Yeah, it does. Look, I just like helping people. It's who I am. And if that's who you are, be you. Hello from British Columbia. Hello, Soul. How are you? Leftists are coming for your rights, the same as the earth is flat. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. Carl, I don't have fines that legally need to be paid. But if you feel that you want to pay something on my behalf, be my guest. The earth. Wow, we're still at the flat earth thing. Come on. The Looker, Mississauga, Ontario. Yeah, that's where I'm from. Okay, just going to keep going here. Tanks are practically useless against rockets. Depending on what type of rocket we're talking about, depending on what it's tipped with, and depending on if it's a concussion or an explosive one. But I'm not getting into the laws of physics here today. That's not what this show is about. Okay. Someone's saying they've seen other dimensions. Okay. Good for you. I don't agree that dreams are us in another dimension. I believe, I happen to know that dreams are just your subconscious mind dumping memories. That's why nothing makes sense in a dream, because your subconscious mind has to empty itself or you'll go crazy. That's why people who don't sleep go crazy. Is this a political channel? Yeah, partially. Very informational channel. Thanks for being here. Certainly do appreciate that. Why is Trudeau giving all of our money, not his, our money to the Ukraine? Because it's called money laundering. This is a transfer of wealth from the Western world to the Eastern world. We know, like, does anybody know Zelensky, the president of the Ukraine? Anyone know what this guy used to do? Well, I'll tell you what he used to do. He is a former stand-up comedian. I'm going to be careful how I word this, but he would wear women's clothing and he would wear lace and high heels and skirts, and he would show his junk to the audience, and he would play with his junk on stage, in front of the audience. This is a clown. And like Canada, Ukraine has a clown in charge, and these two clowns are swapping money for favors and so on. It's just draining all of our resources. This country's going to go bankrupt because of this guy. Okay. I have a ton of YouTube videos. I don't care about YouTube anymore. There's a lady on my team that does all my social media uploads for me because we've got over 45 of them. I believe she is uploading to YouTube now, but I don't give a crap about YouTube. They've taken me down so many times. I gave up. Oh, okay. So you want this girl or whatever you are says I had a hissy fit when I was buying a bar of soap. Okay, I'll tell the story. It's a funny story. Look up Dawson Creek for yourselves on Google Maps. It's really far north. I was invited to speak there, and I went there with my team, my camera crew and whatnot. We went shopping for soap because we packed everything but soap. I just wanted a bar of Irish Spring. It's my favorite soap. All right. And they said, put on a mask. I said, no, because I don't have to. And one of his cashiers thought she was being cute, so she slapped me. And then I said, run this. They said, no, we're not going to serve you. So I took a $5 bill. The soap was $2. I said, here's $5. Bye. And now the soap was mine because I had paid for it. They don't need to run it through the machine to make it authentic and official. Legally, I bought that soap. And then the owner of the store, a guy named Dave, what a loser, he decides to grab me. And I just went, no, it's my soap. I bought it. I walked out and we were leaving. And then he decides he wants to come out and cause trouble. He assaulted me and I defended myself. And all I did, whack. I gave him just that. I did not line up. I used the box. If I gave him the full punch, he would have been out cold. Nope. I just gave him boom, so that he wouldn't assault me a second time. And he screamed and he cried like a biatch. And then he called the cops. Wah, wah. He starts a fight and he can't finish it. Wah. That's all that was, right? It wasn't a hissy fit. It was me having purchased soap legally and leaving a store and him coming out and causing problems. That's what it was. Don't watch CBC, everybody. They never get the story right. Okay. The World Economic Forum has indeed infiltrated the entire country economically and educationally. They own the courts, they own the jails. Like, we're done. Okay, it's over. Oh, this is my favorite one. Rural Fellow says, I'm going to say it the way that it sounds, okay? $20 says he hasn't read those books or it's a fake background. This is a truth show. It's a fake background. It was $20 on Amazon. You know why I bought it? Because it's bright white. And I've got 1, 2, and 3 lights in front of me, and I've got 1, 2 down below, and all the lights bounce off the white and light everything up nicely. So I'm not giving it $20 because I've told people that the last 7 shows in a row, it's fake. What do you think is going to happen with Tamara Leach and Chris? Same thing that happened with Pastor Art. They're going to get time served because the courts don't want any more attention brought on them. Nobody in Canada trusts the courts or the police anymore, and they have to do something to fix that. So imprisoning these people longer is not going to happen. It's a really bad idea for them, period. Okay. You see, it's funny how you folks are, some of you left-wingers are insulting my background. Is it really that bad? Does it bother you that much? Oh my goodness. I mean, is there one you'd rather see me have? Did you maybe want to buy the one for me that you think I should use? I mean, should it be a pride flag? Maybe a picture of Justin Trudeau with his farm animals? Like, what would you rather have on the wall behind me if you hate it that much? Think about that. Oh my God. Oh man, you people got to find something better to complain about. Okay. I'm just looking now. And my Campy Susan says, oh no, this guy is not an inspiration. You know what, Campy Sue? You're a really cranky person. You're so cranky. Let's just say goodbye to you because we don't need negative people here. All right. All right. Oh my Lord, that person. I'm looking at. Okay, there's 100+ comments here. I've got to go to some of the newer questions here. Why do I block so many? I've told you before, and I'll say it again. You can ask any question that you want, but it's got to be within the realm of good taste. If you're going to swear and you're going to insult other people and you're going to tell me that I do things with my mom, which you can't prove and you know hasn't happened, and my mom's been dead for quite some time, you know, why do I want to put up with that? I'm not in high school anymore, guys. So obviously I'm going to get rid of negative naysayers who want to come in here and behave like punks. Yeah, find somewhere else to go. There's other political people out there that maybe you agree with. Hang out with them. Okay. How are all my legal troubles? As I said earlier in the show, me and my lawyers, we beat 75 charges in Alberta. Done. Are you a narcissist? No. What the hell? You can't prove a kiss my daddy on the lips? What the hell are you talking about? Okay. Let's have a look further down the list. What about Ontario? I don't know, maybe ask me a specific question about the province of Ontario. That helps. Okay, let me check the Rumble room. Okay, any questions out here? No. Let me check D Live. Check that right now for everybody. And the questions there. Oh, new fancy 2021. You're one of those that watches CBC. You're going bye-bye too. We don't need you here. Bye-bye. All right. Done. My legal battles in Ontario. Which ones? Is there something specific that you'd like to know? Again, be specific with your questions. Someone just called me a clown. Okay. Hello, Russell Betty. Thanks for being here. You are admitting defeat when you mute a debater. Someone that comes in here and calls people names is not a debater. Somebody who comes in here with facts that are 2 years old and they want to tell everybody that those facts are current, and then they want to put clown emojis up and whatnot, that's not debate. What would make you think that's debate? How would you even consider that being a debate? The biggest issue with the younger generations is that, and it's not your fault, but you've been handed this social media stuff where you are limited to, let's say, 500 characters of text, and you've got to make a whole point in that short period of time. So you're using abbreviations and poorly spelled words with emojis to get some kind of a point across. But you can't debate on Twitter. You can't debate on these things. And you're talking about stupid things here, and you're not engaging me in a conversation. This is not a conversation that you're having. You're throwing insults. That's not debate. And by the way, I have not lost a debate since I was 23. I love Jordan Peterson, everybody, but I have not met him in person yet. I will. What do I think about the new convoy? I don't know anything about it yet. I actually got a phone call from police in Ontario today. They were asking me what I knew about it. But, I always tell my audience the truth. Nobody has approached me with any information about it at all. I just know that there is one coming, and only because about 30 to 40 people that I know have said so. But I don't have any details. And whenever the police contact me, I'm polite, but I said, here's my lawyer's phone number. You talk to him. Not interested in having a conversation about something that I'm not involved in. Okay. Sharkbait says, I find you to be intelligent and a good speaker, the most interesting person on here in age. Thank you, Sharkbait. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, Lisa, some people are nosy and they ask really silly personal questions. You'd be amazed at how often people email me questions about my stuff. Right? Can we just think about how weird that is? You're emailing a guy who's almost 52, and you're asking questions about a middle-aged man's private parts. Do you not think that's weird? I think that's weird. I mean, I just block those emails. I'm not going to answer those stupid questions. But what is it about these generations that want to know these things? It's not that interesting. My genitalia, it's just not that interesting. Why do you want to know? For just God, man, you people. Okay. I am Canada's most censored man. Thank you for saying so. Yeah, kids are waking up to the LGBT stuff. Yeah, they are. They're not happy about it because it's not sustainable. You can't lie to a society for much longer than 5 to 10 years before society says, yeah, we've had enough. And they go right back at it. 1010 CFRB radio hosts do the same to callers. They hang up on them. Okay, Troy. They're governed by the CRTC. They have to hang up on people who are being excessively callous and gross. They have to. As for me, I've just chosen not to engage in teenage behavior here. If you have a legitimate question, ask it. I'll answer it. But I'm not going to be insulted and then have you tell me that that's a debate. It's not. So you're absolutely incorrect. And CFRB sucks, by the way. All right. Daryl Lawrence says you're amazing. Thank you, Daryl. Certainly do appreciate that. Okay. Someone's talking about flatulence. Okay. Why? Do you think new COVID mandates are coming? Yep. 4 to 5 weeks. They're coming back. You watch. Oh, Troy, there's a good joke. That's funny. What Troy just said, your wife must love you. You've never lost a debate with her. And he applauds. Okay. See, that is a clever insult. I like that one. You can stay. Right. What's the purpose of the convoy? To drag and draw international attention to Canada being a communist Marxist place where human rights are trodden upon, a violent fascist country that wants to subdue everybody who has their own free thoughts. That's what it did. It showed the world how bad Canada is. And it showed the world that some Canadians are willing to fight. Okay. I'm just going to keep looking here because I'm going to have to get going in a few minutes. And user 902, that's a big name there. I enjoy listening to your opinions and thoughts. Thank you. Moderskin, can you clear up having been ordered to pay $650,000? Genuinely curious. I appealed that decision, and the appeal is coming up next year, probably June or July, but they haven't given me an appeal date yet, which means that $650,000 is in what they call stasis. That whole judgment gets set aside until the appeal can be heard. I'm only 51. I'll be 52 tomorrow morning at 9:03 a.m. All right. I know what time I was born. So tomorrow I'm 52, everybody. Okay. What is it about you trying to tell others how to live? Oh, I don't do that. Oh, no. I tell you the truth about your society and I leave the rest up to you. I'm not telling you what to wear, eat up, brush your teeth, comb your hair. I'm just giving you advice. I'm just telling you what I know to be true. So when I'm telling you it's a good idea to go to the gym and get strong, I'm telling you it's a good idea for various reasons. You can never be too strong. You really can't. All right. And for those who are curious, okay, I know you're asking. Look, all right, like 52-year-old guys don't have triceps like this and biceps like that. Look at the size of these forearms. Okay. Now, the reason I do this is I like being strong. I like being fit. I like the fact that I don't look 51 or 52 now because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. I exercise. I am concerned about food products out there. So whenever I see MSG on a label or locust beans or stuff that begins with the letter X, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I'm not going to tell you not to buy it. If you want to eat Doritos, be my guest. I'm just suggesting that you substitute Doritos for carrots, maybe. And I'm telling young men to go to the gym because it increases testosterone and makes them more masculine. And the more masculine a man is, the more successful he's going to be in life. That's a fact. So I'm giving you facts. You do what you want. Okay. I'm going to keep looking at your questions here, folks. In your opinion, was 9/11 an inside job? Initially, it was. Initially, I'm not going to lie. Initially, I believed it to be an inside job, but then I started looking into everything to do with the World Trade Center, the way that it was built. Quick rundown. The New York Harbor Commission, they were the ones that owned that property. They were the ones that commissioned that thing to be built. Now, because the New York Harbor Commission was created before the U.S. Constitution was written, they can operate fully outside of the U.S. Constitution. Yeah, they can do what they want. Now, when you build buildings, modern buildings, you need to have your structure go up the middle, the core, where your elevators and your staircases are. But then you have columns, pillars, bigger than that, going all the way up to transfer loads down to the ground. Well, they didn't do that. All right. Instead, what they did is they made the outside shell, the outside walls. That's why they were so weird looking. The outside walls were the structure. Not a good idea. Concrete floors need to be between 12 and 18 inches thick of concrete. Those were only 6 to 9 inches thick, depending on the floor. All right. So when the planes hit, that building no longer had any structure on the outside of it, and it fell. Then people say, well, what about building 7? Well, we did some research into that, and it was the same thing. That building was over top of a power generation plant, and it had no supports or structure on the top 10 floors. So when the beams got hit on the outside, it went down too. I did my research, and I was so honored to be able to interview Ron Craig, who is Canada's foremost explosives expert. This guy, holy smoke, the information he came to or came to us with during the show was unbelievable. He blew my mind with just simple things inside of the laws of physics that I didn't know, especially about fire and explosives and compression. So that's the best part about doing what I do for a living. Being a journalist is great because I get to meet everybody from every walk of life, and I get to question them on everything they know. It's kind of exciting stuff. It truly is. By the way, your background looks like $2 million. So $20 will make you look like 2 million. Thank you. Certainly appreciate that. Okay. Always learning. Your question is worded, what's the lie about LGBTQ people? I don't understand the question. Is there something specific you'd like me to answer? Go ahead. Okay. Is your government going to do anything about India? Well, our government already did. Our government pissed off India. We're in danger of having India not do business with us, and that would not be good because India's economy is pretty good. We shouldn't be pissing off our friends. Can I elaborate on the comment I just made about LGBTQ people? I'm not hearing a specific question, but here's what I'm going to say to you. For everybody who watches my show, the Kevin J. Johnston Show, every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Toronto, New York time, just type in freedomreport.ca and we're live. Every Tuesday. We don't miss a beat. And you've seen on my show that a really good friend of mine, his name is Rio, he's a comedian here in Alberta. He's gay. And he calls himself the flamingest flamer in Alberta. Yeah, it's a pleasure to know the guy because he's a conservative. He's clever. He's funny. And whenever we put him on the show, we get the conservative gay opinion, which is great because it's necessary to have the conservative gay opinion out there. Now, as for LGBTQ plus, what's happened here is that has become a group and a clique and a cult and a religion unto itself, where everything is offensive and you are speaking for people that don't want you speaking for them. And you're speaking on behalf of set belief structures that 95% of the world don't believe at all. So when you are that small a group, but you get that much of the press, obviously things are going to go wrong. Now, nobody cares that you're gay. No, I used to DJ the gay clubs. When I was 19, 20, and 21, I DJ'd the gay clubs because the tips were awesome. Gay men have more money than straight men. Let me tell you that. Okay. And I've got how many friends here? I've got 3 friends who are trans friggin' gender. 2 got the surgery done. All right. 2, but they're conservatives. The reason that we're friends is because we see eye to eye on a great deal of political issues. What's going on here is that the conservatives, the people who want to wake up, have a cup of coffee, go to work, pay their taxes, spend time with their kids and their friends and family, we're being told by a very small section of the population that we are bad people because we want to live traditionally. That's a problem. So what I'm getting at here is if you're gay, be gay. If you're bisexual, be bisexual. If you're straight, be straight. But whatever you do in the bedroom, just keep it to yourself, right? I don't come out here and tell you what I do. None of you even know what any of my ex-girlfriends' names are. I'm certainly not going to come out here and show you pictures. Hey, this is the time I met Susan, and this is the time I met her sister. I'm not going to do that. It's no one's business, right? And all of us out there should be keeping a lot more things in our personal lives personal. I cannot believe how many people in the community are on TikTok and Twitter and Snapchat complaining about their boyfriends, girlfriends, lovers, spouses, whatever. It's weird. It's disrespectful too. So whatever your relationship is, make it the best you can possibly be. But don't tell me about it. I don't care. And you don't care about my relationships. And I'm not going to tell you. So if we can all just agree to leave each other alone, I think we're all going to be fine. Don't you? All right. All right. I've missed like 99 questions here? Do I think we'll have another lockdown? Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, that's already in the works. And do you know why? Because Biden, the entire Biden administration, they don't want to lose to the Trump administration. So they're going to distract us with another set of lockdowns. Trudeau knows there's a very good chance he'll lose to Pierre Poilievre. So how is he going to deal with it? Lockdowns. Why? Distraction. That's all that it is. Distraction. So LGBTQ plus people live their lives and stop bringing them up. Okay. I would like everybody who's a member of that community to live their lives as best as they possibly can. Do it privately, like I do. My life is private. Beyond my show, I don't put my straight pride flag in your face. I don't go to your house or your place of business and tell you that you must love me because I'm a middle-aged white male with gray hair. I don't do that. I wouldn't dream of doing that. But the community does do that to me and kids and drag queens. I'm going to tell you something about drag queens. I used to DJ in the gay clubs when I was young. Drag queens would go from gay club to gay club to gay club. Do you know why? Because they were there to turn on gay men. And gay men who are turned on buy more liquor at the bar. And the bar makes more money. That's it. It's a sex thing. And it's meant to sell liquor. What the hell is it doing around kids? You know, even Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the guys who created South Park, they've been approached by every toy company in the world. And they've said, no, we're not licensing you to manufacture toys because our show is not for children. Our show is satirical in nature. Our show has mature themes, alcohol use, drug use, sex. It has all that stuff in it. It's not for kids. Drag queens are not for kids. Drag queens are for adults. That's an adult thing. That's why I've got a problem with all of this. Oh, and of course, I also have a problem with Antifa's violence. I got a problem with that. They don't debate. They just throw rocks and use knives and bats and swords. And you guys remember Ottawa, May 2017? I had to fight 46 members of Antifa off. Yeah. And I did it. Think about how crazy that is. They were hitting me because why? I was asking them to justify their fascism, their hatred. And they came at me with weapons for it. Okay. They don't need to keep quiet to appease you. Nobody has to keep quiet to appease me. But when you want to write new laws that say that I have to speak a certain way, you are not staying quiet. You're interfering with my life and the life of my family and the life of everyone I know. You can keep your left-wing laws to yourself. Not interested. I don't want right-wing laws in the books that say you can't be gay. It used to be illegal to be gay in England. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. So I don't want right-wing laws written for that. And I certainly don't want left-wing laws written for that. That's essentially saying it's illegal to be straight. Think about that. Okay, Hobby Shiki, you're wrong. It's no one's targeting you for existing. It's aberrant behavior. Okay? If you don't tell anybody you're gay, no one knows. I don't walk around saying, hey, how you doing? Kevin J. Johnston, great to meet you. I'm straight. I don't do that. Come on. Keep your private life private, and no one's going to have a problem with you. It's when you go public with things that you shouldn't go public with that people react. You're not going to get a positive reaction when you're sticking your face in other people's faces and making demands that you have no right making. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes me anything. There is no reason for anyone to hold up a sign saying that they want reparations and they want free stuff because they have feelings. Oh, I've got feelings too, and I don't deserve money for it at all. Nobody deserves anything just given to them. You want something, you go and earn it. Have I been harassed for being, yeah, I've been harassed for being white and being straight. Oh God, yeah, a lot, especially in the last 5 years. And the only reason that any of you know my name is because I was told time and time and time again in the province of Ontario, I'm sorry, we're not hiring white males right now. Oh, yeah. That's why I started podcasting in the first place. And then it turns out that a lot of men were having the same problem. So, yes, I have. Okay. Sandra, no problem. I do my best to answer everyone's questions here. Let me just check the Rumble room. Hold on. Okay. So Justice Cummin, I don't really want to get into the whole description on 9/11. You know what you could do? Go to my BitChute channel. So just type in kevinjjohnston.com. You got to scroll down to June of 2017, but you'll see the 9/11 graphic there. You can watch the whole show. It's all explained to you. It's a 2.5-hour show, and I explain everything. Sandri, what am I missing? What point am I missing? Be articulate and tell me what I'm actually missing, and I will address it. Will the U.S. border be closed again? I think that that's the Biden administration's plan. I think that they're going to look for a way to not allow people to actually land, like fly in. That's going to be a real problem, especially for the American economy. Okay. I bet this dude plays Soggy Biscuit and loses on. It's called Soggy Crackers. The game is called Soggy Crackers, not Biscuit. No, I don't play Soggy Crackers. Okay, so Sandy, if you're gonna just come in here and insult me, I'm just gonna get rid of you. I don't have time for this. Okay, look, guys, ladies and gentlemen, all right, insults, don't bother. Legitimate questions, legitimate statements. Come on, could we try to be just a little more adult? Mitchell, I'm saying I fought off 46 guys because it was Antifa and the Ottawa Communist League that decided to attack me. I didn't attack them. They came at me, and I had to defend myself. And believe me, I had bruises, but I defended myself, which I have the right to do. Okay. Hey, Kevin, Jim here from Niagara Falls, a friend of Stefanos. Very nice. He's a great guy. Okay. Trudeau just gave 650 more to Zelensky. Opinion? Money laundering. It's money laundering. It's moving wealth out of Canada and transferring it to Zelensky, who's going to share it with his African friends. Lord knows what he's going to buy with it, but I can promise you he's not going to be buying weapons for his soldiers to fight the Russians. Russia has already won that war. It's done. What NATO needs to do, it's just back off. It's none of our business. It's a big problem that now 15 countries say that they want to go into Ukraine. Like this country is one of them. Why? It has nothing to do with us. Period. Okay. All right. So someone's challenged me to a fist fight. You'll go toe to toe with me. There's only one of you. Why? Why? You're challenged. I get this all the time. Daryl, why would you like to challenge me to a fight? Tell me why in the room. And no insults. Proper English. Okay. Karen makes a good point, and I'm going to elaborate on what Karen says here. As a cisgender male, cisgender white male, when I decided to have kids, which was my right, I was involved and or married to a woman who also wanted kids, which was her right. We were both heterosexual people who wanted to be in a heterosexual marriage and raise children. When we were raising those children, and me as the man of the house, I wanted my children to be raised and taught with my life values. I wanted them to understand the world from my perspective so that I could guide them properly through this really weird world that we live in now. That's my job and my right as their parent. And my children are eternally grateful to me for keeping them away from the poison in our school systems now. But here comes the far left, who says that, no, I can't raise my kids my way with my worldview. I have to tell my kids that boys can be girls and girls can be boys. I'm not doing that. It's not true. They can't. And that they're supposed to respect everybody no matter what. Well, that's also not true. Let me explain that one. I've taught my children to be polite to everybody, but people have to earn your respect. And even when you are disrespected, repay that person with respect, but walk away as quickly as you can. No, that's my worldview, and now it's their worldview, and I have that right. And the radical LGBTQs who say that they speak for everybody who's gay, and you don't, and I know this, you're telling me that my kids must have your worldview. Well, who the hell do you think you are telling me that, especially if you're half my age? What do you know about being 40, 45, 50 years of age? What do you know about that? And the answer is nothing. You don't. You haven't lived enough to be able to tell me, who's twice your age, sometimes 3 times your age, what to be doing. Your worldview is based on your naivete. My worldview is based on me having been naive at one point and then being screwed over because of my naivete at times, and then getting smarter, clever, faster, better, the whole 9 yards over the course of 5 decades now. Think about that. So no, I don't want someone who's 20 telling me what to do. You're not going to get away with it. I'll fight you every chance I get. But I'm also not going to tell you, a 20-year-old, what to do. And the only time that that's not true is when you're in my house, in which case I am Lord of the Manor. You'll do what I say there, but anywhere else, you can ignore me if you wish. You've got that right. I'm only going to make recommendations to people around the world, regardless of age. You don't have to take them. And I don't have to listen to you either. And I don't have to obey you either. And I don't have to do anything that anyone says because they put a mask on and threaten me with a bat. It's not going to happen. So I'm hoping I've cleared that up for everybody. If you have a particular worldview, then you teach your children that worldview. And I'm hoping that your children succeed and see through it eventually. That's your right. And I'm not going to walk into your house and tell you what to do with your kids. I'm not going to tell you what to do at mealtime. I'm not going to tell you anything, and I'm not going to invent language and then demand that you call me something other than sir or mister or man. I'm not going to make up words like do, do, di, di, pi, pi, ji, ja, ju, and so on. I'm not doing it. And let's say that my ego was so big that I wanted you to call me God. Let's just say, do you think I've got the right to force you to call me that? I don't. And you don't have to obey it. And that's why people have a problem with the radical left, is that you want it all your way. You want it your way now. You cannot articulate why you want it that way, but you're willing to use violence to get it. And then once in a while, you come across a guy like me who just doesn't give a shit. I don't care about your whining. I don't care that you call me Islamophobic. I don't care that you call me homophobic. I don't care you call me transphobic. Anyone who knows me knows that all of that is false. You can call me any names you want. You're not going to get anything from me that you want by being a belligerent maniac. But you will if you're nice and you sit at the table with me like an adult, have a conversation. Sure. Which point you probably could influence me because you'll get more flies with honey. Absolutely true. Than vinegar. All right. What are these trans laws you're talking about? The human rights tribunals across Canada? Them? They're the ones that tell me and people that look like me that I can't say what I want to say. Section 319, subsections 1, 2, and 3 of the Criminal Code. Read them. Those ones. All these new studies that are being done that somehow cost $5-6 million to do. And it always ends up being the same thing. White man bad. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Pamela, thank you for sharing this live with more than 10 of your friends. Could everybody please share this now? I've got 9 minutes left before we hit the 2-hour mark, and I do have to get going because, well, reasons. See, none of your business what I'm doing with my personal time when the show is over. I'm not going to sit there and tell you or fly a flag, okay? I'm just going to go do it and not talk about it. All right, very good. Yeah, Paul says that he resents being excluded from participation of ideas for being white. It is racist. Of course it is. I have been excluded from a number of things because I'm white. Right? I've never excluded anybody because they're not white. It's not who I am. All right? It's rude. Just right off the hop, it's rude. Okay. Allison says, so we can't do anything in public that straight people can do? What are you talking about? You can go to work, you can ride the bus, you can ride the train, you can go to Tim Hortons, you can go to Starbucks, you can find a job, you can quit your job. You can do whatever a straight guy does. Anybody who's gay can do anything a straight guy does. Anybody who's LGBTQ can do anything I can do. If you've got the skills, of course, to do what I do. There is not a single law or proposition out there that I would be a part of or agree with that would limit you from living your life your way. Not one. If you're gay, I told you earlier, go be the best gay person you can possibly be. And when you are in relationships with other people in your gay relationship, treat them well. Right? Make your relationships strong. No one cares that you're gay. And nobody wants to take your rights away. It's the left wing that want to take my rights away. And I'm not going to let you do it. Jake Man says, thank you for speaking up for all of us. Don't stop, please. Well, I'm not going to stop. The Canadian government's put me in prison for 7 months of my life, trying to get me to not talk. Hasn't worked. They didn't want me smiling anymore. That hasn't worked either. And for those who are asking in the room, these are real teeth. I don't have false teeth at all. All right. I take care of my teeth. Kevin, how come you don't have a wife or kids? Were you not watching the show? I have kids. They're in their 20s. Okay. Allison says people have been beaten for holding hands. People have been beaten for very stupid reasons all the time, all over the planet. People have been beaten for being Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Hindu, Sikh, Jainist, Satanist. People get beat up all the time. There are stupid people out there everywhere who want to beat people up because they're losers. All right? Somebody who's going to pick on you because you're holding hands with someone of the same sex is a loser and is not representative of 99% of the world's population. Psychopaths exist, but they are a very small percentage of the world's population. So, me, when I was in grade school, I was a fat kid. I got beat up for it just because I was a fat kid. Now, should I be walking around the world with a chip on my shoulder, beating people up for no reason because someone picked on me? Or should I just say, whatever. It was 1977. All right. I doubt that anybody who watches my show on a regular basis would ever pick on you for holding hands with who you love. I doubt it. They're conservatives. Conservative people don't do that because conservative people are more concerned about their own lives. So if you want to hold hands, be my guest. Right? But tell the radicals not to take their clothes off in front of kids. Right? Tell the radicals to hold hands, be happy, and just don't advertise it. Don't stick flags on people's windshields. You know, don't take your clothes off and crap on people's windshields like they're doing in San Francisco right now. Like, don't do that stuff. Just be decent, and everyone will treat you decently. That's honestly how it is. Someone's asking me something really stupid here. Didn't you make demands of a teen? That's why you went to prison? No, that was Logan Murphy spread that because I wouldn't give him money. And I've had a lot of people threaten me with things like that. If you don't give me money, I'm going to make some stuff up. I've been threatened, and it didn't work, obviously. Holy smoke. I cannot believe how many questions. Like 100 questions just popped in here. Okay, I'm going to go to the bottom of the list. I'm going to address one more question. So let me check all the rooms. Let me just check D Live. No questions. Let me check email. Okay, those are not questions. Those are statements. Let me check Rumble. Hold on. All right, there's no more questions there. Checking Facebook. No more questions there. Okay. Did you hold off 40? It's 46 guys, not 45. I had to defend myself against Antifa. 46 of them. We counted 46. The cops arrested 5 of them when it was all said and done. And I got away with just a broken cartilage on my ear, and a plastic surgeon put me back together the same day. Okay, here's one. So heterosexuals can broadcast their sexuality and culture, but homos have to hide themselves away. No, that is not what anybody said, man. Woman, whatever you are. No one said that. You just heard me encourage you, if you're gay, to have a great relationship with whoever you care about. No, you don't have to hide a goddamn thing, but you don't have to stick it in my face either. So if you have pride in who you are, good. Keep it to yourself. I've got pride in who I am. You don't see me walking around town with a flag with my face on it saying, love me, obey me. I don't do that. Right? We've covered the fact that 2 of my friends are post-op transgender women. We've covered that. Yeah. They've had a difficult time in life. It's not been easy for them. But you know what they've got? They got a good friend here. They feel like talking, they pick up the phone. Right? One of them lives close enough to me that she can ride her bike over here. And I call them she because it's respect. But they're having a tough time. I'm a friend. We just sit and chat. They feel better when it's all said and done. All of us out there have the ability to be better and treat people well. We don't have to go on social media and insult each other like this. We don't have to go on social media and make false accusations that we cannot back. These are not things that we have to do in our society. These are things that we actually shouldn't do. We should be having conversations like I have conversations with people. You sit down at a table, glass of water, glass of tea, cup of beer, whatever you want to have, and talk. And when we find some common ground, try our best to be friends. And if we can't be friends, we can at least be civil. We can be acquaintances. We can help each other in some way. I'm encouraging all of you right now, gay, straight, whatever it might be, find someone to love and who loves you. And damn it, hold on to that relationship as long as you can. But don't take pictures of it and stick it online. Right? I'm not going to do that. I would ask for the same courtesy in return. And by the way, I don't go to your Twitter accounts, and I don't go to your TikTok accounts, and I don't go to your Snapchat channels and insult you. It's not what I do. Right? I've got my own channels. I speak. You're welcome to come. You are welcome to ask me questions. You are welcome to be a part of this community that we have right here. All of you are. Every single person is, until your behavior becomes reprehensible, in which case I'm done. If you're the kind of guy to walk into my house and break my windows, I'm going to kick you out of my house. All right? That's just how it is. You get in my car and you, I don't know, light up a cigarette. And I ask you, hey, could you throw it out, please? And you keep smoking. I'm going to throw you out of my car. It's rude. I'm asking everyone just to consider, better manners, a little bit of better manners. Like, manners in our society have gone away. So what I will do is I will be that shining beacon for everybody and continue to be as polite as I possibly can be, given the circumstances of how crazy our world is. I have no reason to fight anybody who's watching this right now. I have no reason in any way to insult anybody who's here, unless they become belligerent, and then we just part ways. Okay. I'm just going to look at a couple of more quick things here. Allison, I disagree that I need better manners. You'd be amazed at how polite I really am. Tony says, relax, man, heart attack coming. Not a chance. Not a chance is there a heart attack coming. All right. Don't mistake passion for anything else other than passion. Just don't mistake it. Okay. All right. Kimberly says, Unhealed trauma perpetuates a cycle of abuse. What was done to them as kids is what they want to do as an adult. Okay, Kim, yes, the psychological papers on that are very, very clear. But there's one thing those papers never mention: the freedom of choice. You see, I grew up in an incredibly violent neighborhood, and I had a very violent father who was so quick to freaking anger that nobody could understand his rage. Nobody. I mean, the man knocked me out cold because I spilled a bit of milk on the floor, like right out. I woke up minutes later, not knowing where I was. My ear rang for 3 days. All right. I've made the choice. When I became a father, I made the choice. I wasn't going to hit my kids. There was no point. I had other ways to punish them. Real simple. Take away the PlayStation. You'd be amazed how well that works. It's a choice I made. I was not going to perpetuate that particular cycle. Now, when I was 18, I challenged my old man to a duke it out kind of thing, and it went my way. And when I was 31, my old man apologized to me, and I accepted the apology graciously, and I was glad to have him in my life for the last 7 years that he was alive. So we do have choice. And Pam, I get it. I totally get it. Some people who have been abused do continue the cycle. We need to, as a society, recognize this, but stop punishing people for it. Like our prison system. I know I've been a guest of the Canadian prison system for 7 months for saying things like what I'm saying right now, just for talking, not for breaking the law, but just for talking. And I can tell you that the prison system is not one that rehabilitates anybody. It's about punishment, cruelty, meanness, isolation, destruction of the character. That's what our society does. So until we get rid of our court system and our prison system and revamp our entire society, regrettably, we're still going to have to put up with that particular cycle. And that is why I believe that our country has to crash hard. The Western world has to crash hard and be rebuilt into something better, where we begin to have pride in ourselves again, but not just because we exist, but because of what we achieve. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, that's it. We've answered a lot. We've been here for 2 hours tonight, and I want to thank each and every one of you who shared here on Rumble and Facebook and up here on TikTok. Thank you to everyone who showed up. I appreciate the fact that we had fewer trolls tonight. We never get trolls in Rumble, so thank you to everybody on Rumble for that. But if you want to know more, I will do this as often as I need to get all of your questions answered. And the reason I do these shows is because I get so many questions in email and text and private messages and so on, that I figured it was easier just to come out here and answer your questions in a show, right? As opposed to typing hundreds of emails a week. If you want to find me on Rumble, it's Kevin J. Johnston. So I think up here in the corner, you'll see my name, Kevin J. Johnston. .ca is my personal website. .com is my BitChute channel where there's 2,200 videos, something like that. But watch my show, everybody. Watch my show every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time at freedomreport.ca. We've got 2 awesome guests tomorrow night. You'll love what these people have to say about our crazy North American society. Thank you for being here. TikTok, I'm going to sign you off first. I appreciate you all, and we'll see you soon. All right, everybody on Rumble and everywhere else. The trolls are on TikTok mostly, so we dealt with a lot of them tonight. I really appreciate you all being here. Thank you. Don't forget to watch the show. And also on Thursdays, I forgot to mention that on TikTok, on Thursdays, Melanie Schweitzer and myself are doing relationship and dating advice videos because, well, her and I have been on lots of dates, not with each other, but with other people. and I respect her greatly. So it's an absolute pleasure to deal with a woman who's exactly my age, talk about these things that affect all of us. And we're hoping that more of you have happier relationships more often. I got to go, everyone. That will do just fine for now. So this was Your Questions Answered, Part 9. My name is Kevin J. Johnston. Watch my show every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on freedomreport.ca. That's it. Love you all. Good night.